concept. This concept is called tax diversification at retirement. Now what we're all going to talk about is how much non-reportable income do you want at retirement? I mean, what would that answer be? A lot, right? Right, I get that a lot. So, but you know, unfortunately, the way things are set up here in the United States, we put money back in IRAs, we put money back in 401ks, and then tax rates change just like recently, and who knows what the tax rates are going to be 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So today I'm going to touch on a little bit of these situations, share with you some concepts that will allow you to diversify. Okay, so whatever you're doing now is good, don't stop it, but we may add a couple concepts and diversify to allow you to get non-reportable income at retirement. And that is the main goal. So what we're going to talk about is if you had a crystal ball, and you could look into that crystal ball and you could say, you know what, I know I'm going to live till I'm 100. You would buy an annuity and put your money into an annuity because you know that that annuity is going to pay you for a long time. If you knew that you were going to possibly die next week, you would buy the largest term insurance policy that you could get, right? Because you knew something was going to happen. Unfortunately, we don't have that crystal ball. If you knew that a certain stock or a certain mutual fund was going to have outsized growth, you would put a lot of money into that. But unfortunately, we don't have that crystal ball, right? No one knows how long we're going to live. No one knows how things are going to happen in the economy in the next 10 to 15 years. So with that in mind, we've got to plan properly. And what we're going to talk about is there's two types of money. Two different types of money. And it's very important that we really understand this particular concept. You have your safe money, and let me describe what safe money may be. It may be money that you've got in a bank, or money that you sit back that are making probably less than 5% interest on your money. That's called safe money. A lot of times they say, David, life insurance, I can do better in the stock market. Oh, you sure you can? We can definitely do that. However, we're not comparing life insurance with stock market. It's total two different baskets. And I want to separate that right now for you. So that's the first concept. Take your stock money, your investment money that you have a higher risk, higher return in one basket. I'm not talking about that particular money. I'm talking about diversifying and taking some other money in another bucket, which is a more less risk, less return, but a whole lot safer. That's the bucket that I'm going to compare to. So if I were going to ask you a question today, and don't answer, but if I was going to ask you this, how satisfied are you right now that the progress you've made for retirement? Do you feel that in a certain time, and a lot of you are business owners and entrepreneurs in here, physicians, how would you grade yourself as saying, you know what, I'll never retire. I've heard that before. I'll work forever. Well, I don't know if that's very fun, right? We don't want to work when we're 70 and 80. Now you may have the family business and you kind of step aside a little bit and let your family take over, but you know what? Sometimes you're going to have some type of cash flow because a family's not going to always be there to support you. And so let's talk about the retirement funds. Because when it's time to retire, you want to be able to go and do the things that you want to do and enjoy life. You know, years ago, retirement, let me paint this picture for you. You used to begin work, you know, in your early 20s. You work really hard to probably you're 65, and at age 65 you retire. And then about 15 years life expectancy of retire, and people would pass away. That's my grandparents. That's what happened back then. Work till you're 65, 15 years of retirement, life expectancy wasn't where it is now. But you fast forward to today, it's a different picture. People work now till probably they're 68, sometimes 70. But then the retirement could last at least 20 years. People are definitely living into their 90s. A lot of people are living longer. So what does that mean to all of you sitting in this room? It means that when you decide to retire, what's going to happen in that longer period? Some people are actually retired longer than they worked. How are you going to provide funds during that time? And it's very important that we start thinking, okay, we've got our investments over here, we've got our business. I hear all the time, David, I'm going to sell my business and I'm going to retire. What if no one wants to buy your business? What if at that time no one's there to buy your business? What are you going to do? Well, you got to keep working. Or shut the doors, and then you lose out on a lot of hard work that you've done over the years. So, if you look at your retirement as a stool, right? A stool with three different legs on it. Okay, picture a stool with three different legs. And they're going to fire up this projector here in a second, and we'll throw my PowerPoint up on the screen behind me. But think of your retirement as a three-legged stool. The first leg is Social Security. The second leg is maybe a defined benefit plan. Some of us may work for a corporation. We may have our own business that we've set up, our own retirement, a 401k or something of that nature. Right? What I'm looking for is personal savings. This is the part that we're going to peel off on the three-legged stool and talk to you about, is the personal savings part. So I'm going to just take about a 2-minute break and let them fire this up, and then we're going to put this up on the screen. So if y'all hold tight,